Y'all give a huge welcome for the comedian and star of the Miss Pat Show, Miss Pat.
Yeah. She used to that live audience.
Clap for my damn self.
I love it. So, Miss Pat, what was life like before jump-starting your comedy career?
Oh, getting shot, a couple STDs, selling crack, forging white people checks, you know, the hood.
Real out here.
Yeah, I had 2 kids by the time I was 15. So I got into selling crack, shot a couple times, ended up in prison. I had an interesting life.
Wait a second. So I was watching the Gotham comedy show that you did, and you said something about jumping over a gate and your titty got caught, but you were really shot. Is that a true story?
Yeah, he shot my nipple off.
What?
Yeah, went up on my arm. I don't know how somebody get their nipple shot off.
That's crazy.
But what I realized, you don't need 2 nipples. They're overrated.
Okay.
The younger generation don't even know how to suck 2 nipples. If they even know how to suck a titty. So it is just so overrated now.
I love that you make comedy out of like your real life struggles. That's a beautiful thing, that you have that quality in yourself to be able to do that.
Well, I figure there's nothing else to do but laugh. You can't change the past, so why cry over it? I don't got time to be crying, child. I'm gonna laugh my way all the way to Chick-fil-A, because y'all know I like Chick-fil-A.
Well, Miss Pat, you've always been open about being a street pharmacist, and I just want to know, how did you turn the drug money into being a successful career?
I ain't turned no damn drug money, and then they took that money. You know I went to jail.
But was there anything like in that part of your life that helped you shape your career as a comedian or actress, other than like giving you good material?
Well, I mean, I learned a lot from the streets, you know, because I got in the streets real early. I got pregnant at 13, gave birth at 14, so then I had another baby at 15. So I got in the streets really early, and they taught me a lot. Like I learned how to drive, I learned how to forge check, I learned how to crack, I learned how to cook crack. I couldn't even cook food, but I knew how to cook a fucking kilo of dough. So I learned a lot from the streets, and that's what I did. I just took a lot of what I learned in the streets and I put it into the entertainment business. I still hustle like I'm selling dope. People like, do you sleep? I'm like, child, anybody got time to sleep? People who sleeping ain't making no money.
Right.
I mean, if Saul Mill's sleeping and making money, I ain't there yet, you know. And I always tell people, scared money don't make no money. So I'm always somewhere trying to cut a deal. So I got that same mentality from the streets, and I take it to Hollywood.
We love that. You gotta have a hustle.
Them
It's
jokes.
real.
Yeah, I'm true to who I am. I came to Hollywood like this. I'm gonna leave Hollywood like this. I hate fake ass phony people. I don't deal with y'all. I shop at Walmart, and I get in Walmart. I be wanting to steal, but I don't because Walmart's so easy to steal out there. Y'all gotta get better security.
Right.
I could not.
You know them panties that come 6 to a pack, and they got all different pink colors in them. Y'all probably don't wear them bloomers that come up to your nipples.
No.
They're the most comfortable drawers in the
are
world. They hold 4 packs
Those
and
the
3
starter
tampons.
panties. Yes.
We better take one out the pack.
I put on all of them. They warm.
Congratulations on being nominated with Miss Pat. This is amazing, like, girl.
Well-
And I heard you say something about a 4th season. That's even more amazing.
Let's talk Emmy
Yes.
nominees.
Yeah.
Emmy nominated.
Right, that's a big
What
deal.
was that like for you?
One thing I always tell my co-creator, I said, I don't need a trophy to tell me what I'm doing is right or what I'm doing people enjoy. This show is a people show. Right. I don't need nobody giving me no damn trophy or no Emmy and it just sat there and it's gonna turn a color. I don't work hard for that. I work hard so people can enjoy it. If you wanna give the show that, that's all good and fine. But you know, I ain't get mad. The Emmy food was pretty good. It was a good party. But I went there hoping if I win, I win. If I don't, I don't. That's how I look at life. You know, it was a good time. But I don't do this for no awards. I mean, I won't say who house I went to, but I went to a very famous person's house in the black community who we look up to. And they had like 8 Emmys and all of them had turned. And I was like, I want a damn dust collector.
Don't mean as much as it's supposed to.
I got enough shit sitting on the dresser I'm not using.
Well, you're a great mom and you have a beautiful
Some
family.
days.
I mean, but it's hard because you know, I'm a mom too. We do what we gotta do.
Yes.
But I know that one of your daughters came out as LGBTQ, and what's one of the
She ain't
things?
no LGBT, she gay.
She just. Well, what's one thing that you learned about the LGBTQ community since her coming out?
She eat a lot of pussy.
Well, other than that, child, look at you.
Right.
Cheers to eat a little coochie sometimes.
I ain't eating nobody pussy.
I was about to say, Miss
Did you dabble a little bit? I don't know.
Dabble, child.
You ain't never dabble?
No, I seen my drawers. They are not dabbable.
Girl, you gonna make me spit this good deli on now.
I grew up here in Atlanta, and when my daughter was first in high school, I knew my daughter was gay a long time ago. I just need her to tell me she was gay.
Yeah.
Then you hear little whispers here and there. She's not a stud. She actually a pretty girl and gay. And I remember when everybody else was going out, the other kids that I was raising trying to get some dick, she's the only one that would read Elin Harris gay books.
Reading them gay books.
I said, this girl gonna lick a click right here.
Oh my God.
And so when she went to college, she wasn't up under me anymore, so she was able to just go out and be gay. And she knew at the time, I will be honest, I hated gay women. I had been to prison for selling crack, and I could tolerate gay men, but I could not tolerate gay women. Plus, she had a cheerleading coach that was gay that I wanted to kill this bitch every fucking day. And so when she went to college, and it just messed up our relationship to the fact that she didn't want me to know she was gay, so she went out to Virginia like 2 years. So I was like, where the hell are you at? You don't get to see your child for 2-3 years, so I had to be the bigger person. I say, look, Ashley, are you gay? She was like, yes, ma'am.
Tired of waiting.
I said, well, come on home to Atlanta. They eat a lot of pussy down here. Come on back home. This is a gay place where you eat all the pussy you want. At least I know you safe eating pussy.
That's big.
And it was a little difficult, you know, getting used to the way I was raised here, to see my daughter with a LeBron James looking bitch. But, you know, there's nothing else I could do. I had to accept my child for who she was. And my thing, as long as you happy, I'm happy. Yeah. All I ask my daughter is, don't eat me.
Alexis Skyy, welcome to the BGS house. So excited.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, you matching us. You fit right in.
All of that.
Catching the vibe.
That's right. Right. Well, clearly, I mean, obviously you're a vibe, but we know your journey, Alexis, has not always been easy. You know, you've recently spoke out about back when you were a teenager, you had this incident of being sex trafficked. You turned that around and became an advocate for sex trafficking. So just tell us a little bit about that journey and how you took kind of, you know, lemons and made lemonade in a sense for other people.
So yeah, I'm a victim of sex trafficking. I have told my story before. I just think it was like in a different light. People didn't really take it serious. But I did leave home at a young age, and I got caught up with the wrong people. And it kind of just caused me to get into a situation where I was trafficked. I think it kind of affected me growing up and decisions I made becoming Alexis Skyy. So I just came to a point where I'm like, you know what, let me not be ashamed of what I went through because it made me who I am. So I felt like I needed to be a voice because there's other girls out there that might need help or, you know, be a voice for them.
Being that you do have a daughter, is there any tips that you can give other young women to kind of like, not even avoid it, because I feel like maybe it's not a way to avoid it, but just kind of protect themselves from even getting around the wrong people to begin with?
I don't think it's a way to avoid certain things. I think as a community, we do gotta find different things to help avoid it, because nowadays you never really know who's trafficking. Like, you could be in Walmart, you could be anywhere, and girls are getting kidnapped. So I guess my best advice is just, you know, to be more aware, talk to your daughters, you know, speak about men. Like, a lot of young girls think it's good to talk to older guys, and that's kind of what happened with me. Like, I was speaking to an older guy, and it became a trafficking situation before the kidnapping situation, you know. So
crazy,
I think just, you know, speaking to our daughters and letting them know, like, it's not safe out here.
You know, a senior United Nations, you know, reporter mentioned that only 1 out of 100 people who are trafficked escape. So out of 100 people, Alexis, you were that one. Like,
It was.
do you think about that now? Like,
I mean, yes, absolutely. I do. You know, I think I'm at a point right now on this journey where I let it go, though, because you have to, you know, if you carry that pain for so long, it's just gonna keep being a burden on you. So I kind of just like let it go.
What was that process like, getting back or getting out of that situation? Because I know that we recently learned there are some universal signals that you can give to signal other women or people for help, like the putting your hand up and tucking your thumb.
See, I didn't know any of that.
Most people don't know.
So like this, you know, I'm 28 now, I'm about to be 29, so this is back when I was younger, so I didn't really know that. I think I just became street smart. Like, he was like installing so much in my brain that I was like, okay, I gotta figure out. It was pretty much like survival mode. Like, how am I gonna get out of here? How am I gonna see my family again? So at that point, I just kind of like, I guess it was a signal. Like, I was crying to somebody, and he was my angel at that point, you know, and he saved me. So it was kind of like a transaction. He acted like he was, you know, buying me, and he took me out and dropped me off at the bus station.
Thank God
And I
for
left.
him.
So that was nothing but God, though. Honestly, I think, you know, that was
And
God.
for any young ladies out there, like we said, the signal is to tuck your thumb and hold your hand down. And if you call the police, you can also say and pretend like you're ordering pizza. And that will be a signal to let the police know what your address is and how they can help help you.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of God, that is a blessing. And Alexis, lately you've been very public about your spiritual awakening and new walk with God. Can you tell us about how that came about?
I've always been a believer in God. I've always loved God. I've always been a Christian, but I think I just got to like a low point in my life and nothing was making me happy. Like, you know, we're women. I like had nice cars, the jewelry, the relationships, and I just was in an empty, dark place. Like no matter what I did, it just wasn't working. I wasn't happy, and I just got to a real low place. And I think God, like, I don't think he put me there, but I think he just wanted my attention. And sometimes God will remove and take everything from you to kind of humble you. So at that moment, it was like back in December, I went to go get surgery, and I was sitting there just like going crazy in the recovery house, and I was just like crying, and then he just spoke to me at that moment, and that's kind of when I had my encounter with him, and I just was like, you know what, it's time for me to change my life. Like nothing is working for me. I'm obviously not living the right way, and like what am I even doing here right now, getting this surgery? Like I was just in a dark place, and starting like right before Christmas it happened. Wow. And yeah, New Year's, I stopped drinking. I just stopped doing a lot of things. I used to have OnlyFans. I was hosting, and I pretty much just gave up everything and just was like, you know what, God, take me and lead me, download what exactly you want me to do, and let me serve you the right way. I have my 90-day journal.
Yes. Come on,
so
journal.
this has been helping me my journey. So this is Her and God. So this is my brand, and pretty much like I was never familiar with the Bible because, like I said, I've always been a Christian, but I never just picked up the Bible. I'm like, oh, let me read this. The Bible is like the key to life, and people don't know that everything that you're going through,
It's the instructions.
is instructions in there. And so this journal pretty much breaks down everything in the Bible is like scripture, observation. So when you're reading a passage, you write it down, you observe it, you apply it to your life, and then you do a prayer. Yeah. And it makes it more like, you know, fun to read.
Yeah.
For sure. And then I just put daily affirmations because, you know, the tongue is powerful to speak positivity over your life.
Cynthia Bailey, welcome to the BGS house.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me.
You're newly single, okay, out in these streets. Can you tell us what the
Yes.
newfound single Cynthia Bailey is looking for in a partner?
Well, you know, Cynthia Bailey really doesn't have a type per se. I will say that there are certain things that I pray for at night, you know, when it comes to this new man that hopefully is coming to me whenever God wants him to come. I want someone that's whole. I want someone that has their own stuff and their own life, and I can just come in and be a part of that life. I do love partnership. I do love coming in into a situation where I have my stuff, he has his stuff, and we can just build our stuff.
Yeah.
But the only thing that I never prayed for was a nurturing man, and that's something that I put on my prayer list because I'm a very nurturing person, and I was like, wait a minute, I want to be nurtured. I want, you know, my love language is personal touch. I want somebody to just want to hold my hand. I want somebody that's gonna like just look at me and say, you know, babe, let me just rub your feet. Because that's the kind of stuff I do. You know, what do you feel like eating? Let me just make you a meal. Matter of fact, let me feed it to you after I make it for you. You know what I'm saying? I may not even want him to, but I want him to offer. You know what I'm saying? I love a gentleman. I love, you know, when someone wants to open the door for me. Now, I'm the kind of person, I'm very control freak. I'm like, after a couple times, I'm like, babe, okay, I know I appreciate that you want to open up this good door for me, but can we just get in the car? I got it. Come on, we got to go.
That was something that you thought was so important in finding in a mate early on, but now you realize like that really wasn't as serious or as important or high up on my list as I thought it was.
I always try to go into every relationship trying to elevate my partner. Like even if they're already elevated, I'm like, well, I can take you higher. Let's go, because now you're with me. Let's go. And I feel like now I'm at a point in my life where I don't have to come and do that because everyone doesn't want to be elevated. Some people are good with where they are. You know what I'm saying? And I'm doing a better job of just really, instead of pouring all that extra energy into someone else, just pouring it into myself. You know what I'm saying? And that's why you guys see, instead of 50 Cent, you see Fit Cent. I am in the gym. You know, I'm always going to give y'all a little nasty hashtag. I'm taking care of me. I think in the world that we live in, especially social media, there's so much of what we look like on the outside. But I want to look good and I also want to feel good. And at 56 years old, thank you, Jesus.
You look
Amazing.
We all look
Thank
like
you,
Jesus.
Jesus. Thank you so much. I want to feel good. So I work out 3 days a week. I eat well. You know, I ration out my cocktails because I can't give that up. That's part of my little happy space and my decompression. So just doing things for myself, like I just started roller skating again. I just went hiking the other day. I'm having fun.